Hey, how is it going? Valerian Sequeira here, and welcome to this very special webinar where I'm going to show you how to make your wife fall in love with you without begging, asking for forgiveness, without asking your relatives to convince her, and even without losing self respect and compromising in your marriage. And the best part is you can do this alone. That's right, you can make her change without even she attending a single session or going for any counseling. So, who is this special video for? Who is this webinar for? This video will benefit you if you are a husband whose wife is criticizing you all the time. She's being abusive, or her family members are interfering in your marriage. She's having an affair, or she is hating your parents, or she has separated from you. Maybe she has blocked you on all platforms, applied for divorce, or probably you're already divorced. Even then, this particular video will help you. Or you are in a place where you're not married yet, but you are in love with a girl, but you're going through a breakup right now. Then this video will help you. So if you wish to become someone who can make his wife fall in love with him, to end divorce and separation and get her back, have loads of physical intimacy and love, respect from his wife, then make sure that you watch this video of 20 minutes completely in full focus and attention. The only way you can get here with loads of love is by becoming an awesome husband, the alpha male. And the only way to become an awesome husband is by following the Loveathon challenge. So have a look at Vinesh. Vinesh was married for 10 years and has a 9-year-old boy. And when he was separated for 3.5 years. And by following the Loveathon challenge, today they are living together happily. And she's madly in love with him. And here is the message that he shared, that he got from his wife, that he shared with all of us. So what he is saying is, after sharing this photograph, he's saying that may this smile remain on your face all the time. Those of you who understand Marathi would be able to read that. And she's replying, yes, I will make sure that this smile remains. And the next lines are very important. She says, love you. Thank you so much for coming again in my life. They were separated. They were going through an intense power struggle. She was not talking to him. He was blocked. She was not even willing to see his face when he would go over to his place, go over to her house. But in spite of that, he brought back love into his relationship. So now look at Manish. Manish was married for 25 years, and after 25 years of marriage, his wife left him. He went through a lot of struggles. There were police complaints put against him. He was blocked totally. And then when he started the Loveathon challenge, he made his wife fell in love with him, and they came together. And this is the message he shared with all of us. He says, my beloved Coach Val and all awesome husbands, great news to share. We successfully got together to keep our love story alive. This is an amazing message, and he is an amazing person. So before I start with how did this happen, how did I get here, and how can I help you on your journey, before that, let me share my own love story. So I met Pallavi when we were in college. And after knowing each other for 12 years, we decided to get married. Generally, people have one wedding, but we had three weddings. When we got married, I thought our first wedding was according to the Hindu customs and traditions. The second wedding was according to the Christian customs and traditions. And the third one was we got married in the court. When we got married, I thought that our marriage is going to be awesome because because we knew each other for 12 years. I'm a counselor, coach. I thought that I knew everything about marriage. Initially, everything was fine. But then Pallavi started fighting with me for small, small things. This irritated me. I also started fighting with her. When this didn't work and she didn't want to stop, I thought that I needed to explain to her. And whenever I would convince her, she would get angry at me and would stop talking to me for days. How many of you can resonate with what I'm talking about? At that point, I decided to keep quiet. Of course, when I kept quiet, the fights between us reduced, but love, understanding, connection that we also had was reduced. And then one evening, Pallavi came to me. She was very angry and she told me that I don't want to be with you. When I heard that, I was totally lost and confused. Not only that, I was angry, I was frustrated, I was hurt, and I didn't know what to do. And at that point, I went to the internet looking for answers. My biggest reason for why we were not having a great marriage was that we were not compatible. Just the way you could be having your own reason that her parents are interfering in your marriage. She doesn't want to understand. She's too stubborn. She's the only child. She doesn't want to uh, adjust with your family. You would have your own reasons. So I had my own reasons. And when I went to the net, I came across a shocking fact. Now, this is the shocking fact. This is the divorce rate in the US. In India, the divorce rate is very low. But what is interesting is the pattern. The divorce rate for the second marriage is higher than the divorce rate for the first marriage. The divorce rate for the third marriage is higher than the divorce rate for the second marriage. So when I saw this, it confused me. In the first marriage, you can marry somebody who has a problem. Maybe she is allowing her parents to interfere in your marriage. Maybe she's having an affair. Maybe she's stubborn. But how can you make the same mistake in a second marriage? And when I saw this, I realized that there are not many problems that people have in their marriage. Whether you marry once, twice, three times, or five times, you'll have the same problem. And everything else, what people call it as a problem, is not a problem, it is a symptom. So, would you like to know that single problem that destroys all the marriages? So, in order for you to understand this single problem, the first thing you got to understand are the three stages of marriage. The first stage of your marriage is called the romance stage. The second stage of your marriage is called the power struggle stage. The third stage of your marriage is called the mature love stage. So, what is romance stage? Romance stage, everybody knows about it. Now, the interesting part is no matter who you get married to, no matter how many times you get married, no matter whether you check your kundalis, you don't check your kundalis, no matter whether you marry somebody from your own religion, own place, own caste, arranged marriage, love marriage, no matter what you do, your romance stage is supposed to end. When your romance stage is supposed to end, you start fighting, arguing. There is a disconnect and um, there is no love. And at that point, you feel like a victim. Your wife feels like a victim. In fact, 7 out of 10 marriages across the globe never cross the power struggle stage. Even that's the reason every joke that we hear about husband and wife is negative, where husband and wife are fighting, because most people's experience of their marriage is negative. Look at the things that we have. शादी बर्बादी. शादी का लड्डू जो खाएगा वो भी पछताएगा, जो नहीं खाएगा वो भी पछताएगा. It means that if you eat the laddu or the sweet of marriage, you will regret. If you don't eat it, also you will regret. Why are these sayings? It's because most people's marriage is a power struggle. And when I saw this, I realized that there is nothing wrong with me. There is nothing wrong with Pallavi. It is just that we are stuck in power struggle stage, and there is no school or college in the world which teaches us relationship science. So I bought books and courses by those who had studied thousands of couples to make sense of what makes a marriage work, what keeps love alive even after years of marriage. So I bought books and courses by people like John Gottman, Sue Johnson, Mott Fattel, Bruce Music, and many more. And basically, I started learning relationship science. As I went through the courses, as I went through the books, I realized that marriage works on the third principle of Newton. What is the third principle of Newton? Every action has equal and opposite reaction. My wife is stubborn, my wife is arrogant, maybe she's aggressive. In your case, maybe she's having an affair. It's because of a reaction to my action. And the second rule of this relationship science is that our brain hides our mistakes and highlights our partner's reaction. The reason is, and it's the same with your spouse. The reason why our brain does this is because our brain doesn't want us to change. So when I realized this, I started working on my marriage. The love came back, the understanding came back, we became each other's best friend, the physical intimacy increased, and then she started supporting in my career. I created a community called Awesome Husbands, which has thousands of members who are spread across the world today. I'm the I'm the first one among the 26,000 member community of my mentor, whose name is Siddharth Rajshekar, to get the Crore Club Award in the area of relationship, in the area of relationship niche. Now, in all this, because I worked on my marriage, because I brought back love into my marriage, she started supporting me. And because of that, I've excelled in my professional life. My health is amazing thanks to this amazing journey. Not only that, with her support, I'm able to invest in my own personal growth, in my business growth, and invest lakhs of rupees in my learning. under some of the best mentors in the world. So I have seen the most difficult days in my career, and Pallavi has stood by me. I have fallen sick, and she has taken care of me. She has supported me in taking care of my family when my brother fell sick and my mother and my sister lost her husband. Learning relationship science has empowered me. It has made me an alpha man, alpha male whose wife admires him, respects him, and loves him. And my mission is to help you, a man like me, to become an alpha male who is admired by his wife. So let's understand how to get started with this. Here are three secrets to make your wife fall in love with you. And this works whether you are in the same house without any love, whether you are separated, whether you are going through a divorce, you're already divorced, or you're not yet married, but you're in a relationship and you're going through a breakup. So the secret number one is attract. So what is the problem? Right now you're facing a problem where your wife doesn't want to understand you. The more you try to talk to her, she moves further away. You have tried everything from talking to her to asking her friends and relatives to talk to her, probably going for a meeting with your family, and she doesn't want to listen. The funny part is she's listening to her parents and they are interfering in your marriage. And right now, probably she's asking for a divorce, she has blocked you, or you're already divorced. Now, no matter where you are, the solution to this problem is not to tell her, not to try to change her. So, the first thing is to realize that you can't change your wife. You can't make her change. The more you try to fix her, she'll only move away. She'll only become worse. So, what you need to do is to change the way she's thinking about you. And to change the way she's thinking about you, you have to change the way you behave. And to change the way you behave, you have to change your thoughts. And to change your thoughts, you have to learn relationship science. Would you like to learn relationship science to find your own answers? To find your own, to figure out where you're going wrong and fix that to fix your wife. Let me give you an example. So, in order for you to understand what exactly I mean by learning relationship science to attract your wife back, let me show you this particular video. This is the video that people go through when they join the program called the Loveathon Challenge. Now, the video says the real problem in your marriage. So, I talk about this problem and then I ask a question. In your case, what is the real problem? And look at it. There are 592 people have answered it. And Manoj is saying, I thought the problem is her parents, brother over involvement in my marriage. But now I realize that it's not about him. It's about there is no love between us. Rakesh is saying, I thought the problem was she is not listening and understanding to me, but I realized that it is no love between us. Rachit is saying, I thought that the problem was her aggressiveness and at times violent behavior, but now I realize that the problem is that there is no love between us, and my goal is to bring back love in our marriage. Now, I did not tell them what the problem is. They figured it out themselves. Now, that's how you go about bringing about change. Now, let us look at Uzefa. Uzefa is married for 13 years. He has a daughter and a son. And just before he joined the program, his wife had come back from separation. He joined the program, he started working on himself, he started going through the Loveathon challenge. And slowly, because the shift in his behavior in a systematic way, his wife started noticing. The love came back, understanding came back, and he sent us this particular photograph where he says 10 days spent with my wife and children in Jaipur and Sariska Wildlife Sanctuary allowed me to deposit love, tons of love rupees in all accounts. Think about yourself. Maybe you're stuck in your marriage right now, and this is what the future looks like for you. Now, not only that, today he's a fan of for table tennis, and today the same person, his wife was not happy with him practicing table tennis, is supporting him to follow his passion. So this is Uzefa's story. And this is Suryakant out here. Suryakant was separated for 4 months and they have a child. And by following the Loveathon challenge, he got his wife back. And today they have one more child after coming together. They are blessed with one more child. So the second secret is to build trust. So let us look at the problem. The problem is your wife says you hurt me, you betrayed me, your mother, father, relatives hurt me. You can't control your anger, you don't care about me, you have lied to me, you have played politics, etc. Or she's gone for divorce and filed for divorce, and you have tried everything. You have tried to convince her, begged her to come back. Even you tried to agree to all her condition, but she still doesn't want to listen to you. You have even asked for forgiveness and nothing has worked out. More you try, the things have only gone worse. And now you're totally lost on what you need to do. So if you are in this place, then the solution is to understand that begging or asking for forgiveness is only you lose self-respect. So the first thing to do is not to beg and not to ask for forgiveness to get her back, to make peace, or not even to agree to all her conditions to get her back, because that will only make you appear desperate, not an alpha male. And even if she comes back, even if she ends up that affair or she starts talking to you, it will be out of pity and that will never bring back love. So what's the solution? The solution is don't ever beg her. Don't lose your self-respect. You don't even ask her forgiveness to get her back, to make peace, to agree to her condition. Because when you do that, then you appear desperate. You don't appear to be an alpha male. And even if she comes back, even if she ends up that affair and starts talking to you, it will be out of pity, and that will never bring back love. Instead, use a technique called creating positive experience. Let me give you an example for you to understand. Recall the first time you met your wife. Where did you meet your wife for the first time? Was it in your house? Was it in her house? Was it in the college? Was it in the workplace? Where did you meet your wife for the first time? And when you asked your wife, if you suppose if you had asked your wife, will you get married to me in the next 2 hours? What do you think your wife would have said? Your wife would have said, are you crazy? I don't even know you. How can I get married to you just like that? The reason she would say that is because she didn't trust you. But then, after 3 months of knowing her, after 6 months of knowing her, after 1 year, maybe 2 years, 3 years of, or 12 years of knowing her, she agreed to get married to you. Did you beg her? No. Did you ask for forgiveness? No. Did you join your hands and say, please, please? Did you convince her? No. What you did was you created positive experiences. What is positive experiences? Used to call her up, used to message her, used to give her a gift, used to talk to her, used to interact with her, and that made your wife feel that she matters to you and she fell in love with you. Right now, the love between you is not zero. If it was at zero, you could have brought it to 100 by giving gifts and roses and all these things. But right now, it is not zero, it is minus 100. And the strategy to bring back that love is to respond to situations rather than reacting. Now, look at the story of Raghu. Raghu got into the program when he was separated for 3 years. They got a daughter. They were separated for 3 years. There was a divorce case against him. He was going through a lot of frustration, depression, and at that point, he got into the program. And today, look at this message. He says, after 3 years of separation, divorce case against me, frustration and depression, etc. Here we are now together with loving each other with respect, taking a step towards to be together forever, having a small function at home to mark the same. So somebody was separated for 3 years. There were divorce cases which are put against him. Can bring back love. Then you can also bring back love. Look at uh, look at Sarthak. Sarthak was separated for 7 months and 7 days of separation. It says, meeting my darling after 7 months and 7 days of separation, and I'm here to spend a few days together with her. A loved shout out and big thank you to Coach Val for your guidance and teaching, and my dear love Spartans, the Lavathonians. There were false cases put against him, and now he's bringing back love, and today they're together. So, this is the secret number two. You got to build trust. The secret number three is you got to connect with your wife. So, what is the problem you're facing right now? You are living in the same house, probably, and but your wife is not talking to you, or just talking the bare minimum, or why your wife has left you and your wife has blocked you everywhere. There is no way you can connect with your wife. You have made all the efforts to talk to her, but she doesn't want to understand. You have changed your SIM and called her up, but then she's not. She found out and she has blocked you even there. Even you have gone to a house for a meeting and she refused to talk to you, or maybe she refused to open the door for you. So what's the solution? First of all, you got to understand that in our communication, the impact of our communication when it comes to words, tone, and body language, it is only 7% words, 38% is tone, 55% is our body language or action. In other words, our wife picks up that we have changed. Our wife falls in love with us not on what we say, it is on the way we say it and our behavior. So, the first thing you got to focus on is your body language or action. So the first thing you got to focus on is your body language or your action. You got to do this, especially if you're living in the same house without any love. And when you start changing in a systematic way, your spouse will be noticing every action of yours. And based on what she sees, she will be connecting with you over time. For those of you who are separated, you don't have to worry. You might think that how will my wife change because we are not living in the same house? How will she notice that I've changed? You don't have to worry because our human brain picks up the change in the other person at 1/300th of a millisecond. So just the way there are so many men in our community, just the way they said to hello to their wife noticed that their spouses changed, and then they started falling in love with each other and coming together. Now you could be somebody right now where your wife has blocked you, and you feel that you have no opportunity, which is not true. Your wife is going to unblock you someday or the other. The point is, when your wife unblocks you, are you going to be the same old person or are you going to be a different person? If you're going to be the different person, you'll have a great marriage because she will turn towards you and she will connect with you. If you are that same old person, then you will have the same old fight, same old argument, and she's going to block you once again. Let me talk about, look at this story of love story of Akshay. Akshay and his wife were going through a very intense power struggle. There was no love, there was no connection, they were not physically intimate, emotionally intimate. And at that point, he got into the challenge of Lovathon, the Lovathon challenge. As he started working on this challenge, he started bringing back love into his marriage. He started making his wife fall in love with him. And here is the photograph of him with three more ladies. The first lady is his wife, the second lady is his mother in law, and the third one is the cute lady, his daughter. So think about the way he brought back love and made his daughter feel happy in their family by bringing that connection. Probably you have a daughter or your son now, and you have the possibility to do the same. Here's the story of Rahul. Rahul is married to his wife, and they're married for 14 years and they have two kids. And this is what he has to say in the message. He says, me on trip with my wife and kids for the first time after separation of 11 months. They were separated for 11 months. He joined the challenge. He started bringing back love, and they are living together happily in the same house with loads of love. Not only that, he's living in his parental house in the joint family. He has brought his love back, and his wife is willing to stay with them. So, this is the way you can make your wife fall in love with you as well. So right now you have two options. Option number one is you don't take any action right now and continue to be in the same old way. If you do that and you're together, your wife might leave you. If you're separated, she might apply for a divorce. And if you're going through a divorce, then obviously your marriage will be over in no time. And this will affect your personal life, your professional life, your health, your body, and everything. Or you join the Loveathon challenge and learn relationship science to understand your wife, bring a change in her by changing yourself in a systematic way, and in the coming few months, have a marriage filled with love, laughter, and immense amount of physical intimacy. Probably like many of the men in our community, you would be going for a second honeymoon. While you do this, you'll also be excelling in your career, in your profession, in your business, and also your health will transform. And all this because you made a decision to join the Loveathon challenge. So, who is this for? This is for you if you are a husband living in the same house without any love. If you are a husband who is separated and maybe you're blocked everywhere, you're a husband who is going through a divorce process or already divorced, or even if you are not married yet but you're going through a breakup and you're struggling. And on the other side, you're committed to bring back love and willing to invest that required time, money, and effort for this growth, for this transformation. So let me tell you who is this not for. This is not for you if you are someone who is not a hero, who is not willing to stop blaming and complaining all the time. It is not for you if you're not interested in investing time, energy, and money in your personal growth. And finally, especially, it is not for you if you are someone who is not an alpha male or the leader in your marriage. So, if you feel that you're the right person for this journey, then I would love to invite you for a free 60-minute consultation call. In this call, we are going to discuss about your current situation, where you are stuck at, what do you currently need help with, and what specific strategies can be implemented in your marriage. You'll find a button at the bottom of this video. It says apply now. You can click on that button and register for this call. I've got limited seats as I will be taking these sessions personally. So click the below link and book your free call now. Looking forward to seeing you on the other side. Until then, bye bye and take care.